Hi everyone. Welcome back to 78 Reflections. My name is Patty Elaine and I'm so glad you're here. Today we're going to jump into another Wobble reading. And if you're not familiar with Wobble readings, I am going to link a video from Esther, the Mindful Tarot. The spread is her creation and it is inspired by the Chariot card. I also have a video that I will link in the description as well, explaining the spread. But you don't need to know the background of the spread to enjoy today's reading. You can just come along for the ride. And I'm using the Shadowland Tarot, and I'm also using the Wild Unknown. So the first question that I ask for the Wobble reading is, what energy is showing up for me today? And I am not in any way surprised to see the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is overwhelm. It's anxiety. It's being caught up in an unhealthy cycle of fear that is disrupting your peace. And I am feeling the Nine of Swords energy this week in a very big way. I'm looking at the Shadowland Tarot guidebook, known as the Nightmare card. And with all those hairy spiders dangling above the bed, we can see why. The spider represents fears, both real and imagined, that keep us up, playing over and over in our head. This card asks us to move to make corrections and address situations that are creating fear or anxiety in our lives. Perhaps you are obsessively trying to figure out a situation, or you are ruminating. Remember, this is a Swords card, so it's about your thoughts and your perceptions. When you get the Nine of Swords card, it's not pointing to something that's happening in your life. It's pointing to what's going on in your head. And although perceptions become our reality, we can change our perceptions. And maybe the haunting thoughts are because of physical realities that we're choosing not to deal with. But the secret to navigating the Nine of Swords is about calming our mind and turning on the light of understanding to shut down those nightmares. And the question in the Shadowland Tarot is, what are the thoughts that are haunting me at night that I need to resolve in the light of day? So what is the energy that is competing with the Nine of Swords energy for me today? Oh, Temperance. Well, I have been working with the Temperance card a lot lately. This card is different than the traditional Waite-Smith Temperance card, and it's also different. We had the Temperance card in the middle a couple of days ago, and it was from the Wild Unknown, and that was a different image altogether. But the Temperance is a challenge card. So the fives are always challenge cards, and it's a 14, so 1 plus 4 is 5 in numerology. And the Temperance card is an invitation for pause and reflection and finding the middle path. It also invites us to blend rather than choose. And the traditional image shows the cups, like pouring the alchemy from the cups, pouring back and forth to each other. Whereas this one is working with the elements, which is really interesting. You can see that in the image there. And I'm just going to read to you from the guidebook. The Shadowland bat with cool boots and like the phoenix rising is in the middle of a transformation. One boot on the land. Should I hold that up so you can see it? One boot on the land and one in the water. He's on fire and with wings. So there is a symbolic connection with all of the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And the message is about maintaining balance through moderation and learning to connect with the elements, to act instead of react. And there it is. I was wondering where the clear opposition was going to be, and that's where it is, because the Nine of Swords is clearly reactive. whereas the Temperance card is encouraging us to act. Transformation requires a calm disposition. The Temperance card is a reminder to define boundaries and consider your limitations. It is not for the meek. This card's lesson may take the form of an epiphany or a radical awakening. So the conflicting energies we have on one side, we have this reactive, chaotic mind in the Nine of Swords, the nightmares. And on the other side, an invitation to maintain balance through connection to the elements and to act with moderation instead of the reaction that we're doing in the Nine of Swords, in the Nine of Swords. So what is a really good question that can help us navigate these competing energies? Interesting. Well, I would not have called that. So the Eight of Pentacles is about mastery. It's about discipline and repeating your efforts over and over again to achieve exemplary results. It's about applying your mastery to achieve flow and consistent results. I've been working with the Eight of Pentacles a lot lately because I am using tarot cards to help kind of ground me in the different phases of my day. And the Eight of Pentacles card I use during a period of the day when I really want to hone in on what I'm good at, get into flow, and really, get excellent results. And so it's about being someone who can be relied on for superior work and to spend your resources responsibly and effectively. So in the guidebook for the Wild Unknown, it talks about the spider being a true master of her craft. She weaves her web against all odds, and with skill, I can't say the word, but it's, the web is intricate, and confidence. So I think that the question that the Eight of Pentacles is presenting for us in the situation where we've got something bothering us, we're ruminating about something, we've got something that's keeping us up at night, and we need to find the middle path. We need to use temperance to find the middle path. I think the Eight of Pentacles is encouraging us to ask, what is the skill that I can use to improve my situation, or to change a situation that is bothering me, or to process it, or whatever needs to be done? And I know one of the things that has worked for me is when I'm finding that I'm really struggling with something, is I try to think about what has worked for me in other areas of my life, or how have I successfully navigated challenges in the past, and try to think of a situation that I encountered where I was able to find the courage, the tenacity, the know-how, the people, the wise counsel, whatever it is that I needed to navigate the situation. How did I do that in order to achieve success? And how can I apply that in a small or big way to my current situation? Because whatever the problem is that is keeping us up at night has a solution. And one of the phrases my brother is fond of saying that I'm not particularly fond of hearing is, you always have options. You might not like your options, but you always have options. So a good example of that is yesterday when I was walking my dog, he jumped up and knocked my phone out of my hand. It fell with a very big impact onto the sidewalk. And so the screen is all cracked, and I'm surprised that I'm still filming this video because it keeps going black from time to time. So I'm not pleased with this. I need my phone. My phone is essential to me. I'm sure it's essential to everyone, so no one is surprised to hear this. So there is a solution to this problem. And fortunately, I did pay for the coverage, or protection for the phone. So that's the good news. The bad news is it has a $500 deductible. So I have options. I can deal with this phone the way it is and see how long it will carry me through, or look for another solution, or I can pay for the replacement and UPS will deliver it to my door in 1 to 3 days. So there's options. I just don't necessarily like them. So these cards are meaningful to me today. I'm wondering if they're meaningful to you. And I thank you for sticking in and listening today to the Wobble Reading. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And please, if you like the video, please like it. And if you're interested in hearing more from me, I would love it if you would subscribe, because I'm going to be doing the Wobble readings all the way through the Shadowland deck. It'll be a total of 33 Wobble readings and then a spread at the end. So with that, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then.